This podcast represents the opinions of the hosts of the Laugh Cry Club and guests on the show. The content here should not be taken as medical advice and is for informational purposes only. And because each person is so unique, please consult your healthcare professional for any medical questions. While we make every effort to ensure that the information we share is accurate, we welcome any comments, suggestions, or correction of errors. Welcome back, everybody, to the Laugh Cry Club. I'm Joy.
I'm Rebecca.
I'm Chelsea, and if you are an imperfect human who likes to laugh and leans into crying, then this podcast is for you and any other humans who have had that experience. Welcome.
Welcome, everybody. We're back for another week of the Laugh Cry Club. If you're new, welcome. We're so excited you're here. This is the coolest club. Exclusive, not exclusive.
VVIP, baby.
And as a reminder, we are 3 licensed therapists trying to normalize feelings and help along the way because we've got some experience talking about this stuff. So hopefully we give something that's helpful for you. If you like the show, rate and review us. That really helps the show, as well as sharing with a friend. We start every week with a laugh and a cry and a topic of the week, and then we will tease a topic for next week. If you ever want to submit a question or a topic, you can email us laughcryclub@gmail.com, and we're on Instagram at laughcryclub, where you can see our beautiful faces because we drop videos of our podcast recording. So to kick us off, Chelsea, who's going with the laughs and the cries this week?
Well, there's been lots of laughing and lots of crying. I'm sure that has happened because that's what happens when you're a human. And so I think it's pretty safe to nominate anybody today for a laugh cry. So I'm closing my eyes and I see Rebecca's face when I close my eyes. That's cute. Okay, Rebecca.
I hope it's real cute.
That is. Yeah, well, I mean, you have a cute face, but do you ever just do that? Like when you can't make a decision, you just close your eyes and then whatever visual comes to is it the right one? That's a little tip and trick, y'all, just so you know. I used to do it in therapy sometimes where people would be like, I don't know what to get. So we would start with like a vacuum that they were like researching on Amazon, but they couldn't pick because there's too much information and all that. So we just like flip a coin. You know, heads was this, tails was this. If you landed on, say you chose heads, you land on heads and you're like, ooh, I actually really didn't want that vacuum, then you knew your answer, right? So you can also do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can also do it when you close your eyes because visual is the most sensory stimulating of the 5 senses. So sometimes if you need to get like a truth real quick, just close your eyes. See what comes up.
I'm so glad that you shared this. So visually, that's the most stimulating. Is that probably explains like when I see a really great pastry, I'm like, I feel really stimulated to have it.
Yeah, I do too. And then I
right?
also pair a behavior with it where I go through all the steps to buy it and then I eat it.
I just am like, yep, here's my money.
Yeah, visually is the most stimulated. So a lot of times in therapy, if I'm with a client, I'll just have them like close your eyes and get into your body and like see what happens. And that's where we'll get images, we'll get body sensations, I'm a very visual person. So for me, a lot of the times it's just like a picture. I get answers in pictures. But yeah, so you can just turn off your eyeballs by closing them and it'll bring you back into your body. It's a little shortcut.
That is a fun fact because now that I think about it, when you do have that immediate response and then your gut kind of tells you yes or no.
Yes.
You're like, actually, the feeling that goes along with it, that's really interesting because we can think ourselves out of many things.
I mean, we have big, brilliant, beautiful brains. And
sometimes we got to wrangle that shit.
Yeah. I mean, really, right? We're doing like a lot of brain training. We're learning different ways, little shortcuts to help our hardwired brains because we go through hard times. Our brains will always be biased to those things and we'll always not always, it's not true, but we can get overwhelmed with decision making. So that's just like this morning picking a person. It doesn't matter who goes first, but it matters to me because I really like to nominate. And so when I close my eyes and I see Rebecca's cute little face, done.
Like, this is the decision.
Done.
I love that we just turned that into such a great teachable moment of a therapy tip and trick.
I'm going to try this.
Oh my gosh, do it. It's so fun. Okay, so Rebecca, sweet face Rebecca. What do you have?
You know, I've just had like a mediocre week, really. I know. Isn't that crazy? I was like, I've just been doing
no
the thing.
Bike rides, no onion people.
No, I did have just a regular bike ride training session, but I didn't go to like a rally or anything. But I think my laugh has to do with sometimes I mishear what people say, or, like you're not sure what they mean by something. So I thought we were out running some errands and I'm like, I need a car wash, right? I'm going to go into this car wash. I haven't been there for a while. And I pull up and the guy's like, trying to sell me, hey, you can, the whole membership. I don't want the whole I just want one car wash because this is not the car wash I typically go to, right? And then he's like, do you want in or out? And I'm like, in. And he's like, I said, I want in, and I'll have the basic wash. And he's like, what? And then Robin was with me and was like, out. She wants out. And I was like so confused because of course I want to go inside the fucking car wash. I don't want to stay out here and you wash my car. But he meant like interior, exterior cleaning.
Oh, wouldn't have known that either.
See,
I was like, in my car or out my car?
And I'm a pervert. I'm a pervert. So I'm thinking in or out. What's this creep saying to me? And I'm like, I'm out. Unless you're like super hot and I'm super hard up. Maybe I'm in. I don't know. But that's what I'm thinking. Who says that to somebody? That's not okay.
So
in my head,
confused.
I'm offended.
Are you in?
You want
are
in
you
or out?
in or are you out? Yeah, that sounded like a proposition.
I want to go in the car wash. I want to drive my car inside the car wash. So I guess he was confused when I'm like, yeah, the basic wash, when I said out, or I said in, and he was meaning that, see, this, you know what? This is not a me problem. This was a him problem because he did not explain himself correctly and say, like, would you like us to do interior cleaning also? That's all you had to say.
Okay.
No.
Did he speak English fluently?
Yeah, he was just like, do you want in or out?
So he was using like his little shortcut words. Like, when you
like
have
lingo.
like
this is car
this
wash.
is a lingo.
Okay, clarify to listeners, car wash lingo. Okay, in and out is not a proposition for dating or anything sexual.
It means interior. Wait, okay, hold on.
Interior,
Sorry.
in is interior, out is exterior. Why don't they do both? What's both?
Exactly. That's my next question.
Yeah,
is
what
like,
kind
what
of
if
car
you want
wash is
both?
this? Yeah.
I guess you can do both. I don't know. That wasn't part of the option. I just wanted a basic car wash, and it got really confusing.
And Robin somehow knows the lingo.
Apparently.
Yeah, how
does the biz of car washes?
Robin, how do you know the biz? This is so fascinating.
She works up at the car wash, right? I mean,
isn't that funny? Because everybody has slang in their
so
industry.
funny.
Like the way we say
Yeah.
things. Like if we're going to do a diagnosis, we'll just say like BPD, or we'll say,
Yes.
we'll flip
Yeah.
it. We'll flip words, and people don't know what the hell we're talking about, but we do. And then something like the car wash, he really did the biz.
Yeah, I was like, I just want the basic wash. Like, why are we complicating this?
So how did it end, and how much did you pay?
Oh, $10. I mean, it was
so you
fine.
got what you wanted.
Yeah. I was just, it wasn't a super
Thanks
huge
to
laugh,
Robin.
like a gut belly laugh, but I was just like one of those like where you do like the dog tilt your head back and forth.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I want inside the car wash. And like, apparently that meant interior. I don't know that stuff. It's a him problem, honestly, not me.
But it really could have been a laugh cry had Rebecca did what she didn't want, and then it had like a huge car wash bill and was stuck there for hours, right?
Yeah.
Then it could have been a
then
cry.
you had to park your freaking car. And
Yeah.
you're like, that's not what I wanted.
No, and then you're stuck.
So yeah, that was that. And then I really haven't had a cry. Just had a disappointment. Went to a WNBA game, the Wings versus the Aces over the weekend. And, the Wings have the #1 draft pick this year, Paige Beckers from UConn. And I have been twice this year, read it, 2 times, 2 WNBA games here in Dallas. And do you think the #1 draft pick played in either game? No. I'm like, are you kidding
I'd
me?
be so pissed.
I spent so much money on these tickets. Anyway, it was a freaking blowout. The Aces killed them. I do like the Aces too, but yeah, it was a disappointment.
Well, even though you think you had a mediocre week, your laugh made me really LOL.
Really? Now you're going to be thinking about it.
Maybe your mediocre week really benefits others. Yeah.
I do too, because now I'm going to pick up the biz language and I'm just going to start to in or out. And people are going to be like, what the hell is she talking about? But it's going to be like, are you in this club or are you out? And if you're a Laugh Cry Club member, you're going to know what that means. You're going to be like, oh, I'm in, of course. But if you're not a LCZ VIP, you could be out.
I feel like there's so many stories at car washes. I feel like there's almost every time I go to a car wash, I panic when I can't get my car in neutral. Like there's just so many.
The whole thing, right? It's like, oh shit, am I in neutral?
Yeah.
It's like you double check, right? Like
when you had we used to have a Tesla, and that shit is so hard to put into neutral because you have to, anyway, it's not a setting. You have to like tippity tap the clicker like barely. It's so hard to get your car in neutral for a Tesla. Not that you have to, because it doesn't like automatically push forward.
Can't you just talk to a Tesla and say,
I
put
wish.
it neutral?
Yeah, I wish.
Elon.
Anyway, so every time I would go there, it would freak me out. I'd be like, ah! And then sometimes it would like be, the belt is like pulling your car and then your wheels are like going over it because you're not in neutral. And they'd be like, roll down your window. And then they'd help me get my car neutral because they probably are like these fucking Teslas.
Do you want to know how I figured out I needed glasses from distance? Was when I had Big Giant Betty in my Lincoln Town Car and I went to drive through one of those and I missed the thing that hooks the wheel or whatever that pulls you through. I got it stuck. They had to call the owner of the thing. The car could be, Lincoln Town Cars are huge. It was stuck on the wrong thing. And he was like, back it up, turn it around. I'm like, oh my God, I'm afraid. So then they had to get someone to do it. And I broke. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I was like a little kid in shame standing there on the side with my car and these men trying to like fix it. And I was like, oh my God, I need glasses. Like I missed, Now I had hit a car. I'd hit a BMW parking too close the week before, and I'm an excellent driver. I just missed it a little bit, and the guy was really cool and was like, it's okay. Like, I don't know why he was so nice to me, but he was really nice to me, and he did it. I'm like, I have great insurance. It's fine. But after the next day, I did the car wash, and I'm like, and I called the optometrist. I'm like, I need to get my eyes checked. I can't see far. I'm like misjudging things. Like, yeah, wow.
I love how you did that and then immediately called your optometrist.
I did. It was like an epiphany. It hit me that like, oh, I hit a car. Now I misaligned the thing. But now since then, I'm traumatized, and I bought a whole hand car washing kit that I do at home and a shot vac because I'm too embarrassed and ashamed to ever go back.
Car washes create so
traumatizing.
much trauma responses. I swear.
It does. I'm out.
I bet you a lot of people have the same experience. It is very scary.
Yeah. It's a complex biz, guys.
See what you started, Rebecca?
Who knew this would become a trauma conversation?
Rebecca, you have to nominate.
Oh, that's right. Thank you. I was like taking a deep breath because I was like, oh, trauma. Okay. I'm going to go with so many options. Sweet, 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 sweet joy.
I love how you closed your eyes.
Sweetest joy. She did close her eyes.
She used the technique.
Oh my gosh.
Everyone's using the technique.
When you did the technique, did you see joy or like have the thought joy, or did you see her face? It's interesting.
You know what I saw?
What?
Is your paint color joy. Yellow.
How cool is that?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
I can't wait to see your paint color, Joy. I'm going to take a photo in front of Joy.
Yeah, you are.
When I come to your house.
You should.
Okay.
Yeah, you are coming to my house.
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah.
You in or out, Joy.
In or out.
I feel like, is that something they say at In-N-Out
we're
Burger?
We're back to this.
Oh my God,
I've never been to an In-N-Out, but
what?
Oh.
Well, we have them. I really want to go to one.
Oh my God, they're so good.
My niece works there, so I should ask her.
I'll call her
there's
up.
There's a lot of lingo to order things, so
okay,
you can get
cool.
the inside lingo.
Sorry to interrupt.
The off the menu items. Okay. I too had kind of like a mediocre week, but I had a couple of cute little laughs. One is the dog that we're raising, Leela. We realized she started smiling when she gets really giddy. So I don't know if you've ever seen a dog smile.
I love it.
But think of, there's an account, if anyone wants to kind of get an idea, go to this account called Django Smiles. It's this dog that's like a German Shepherd, this really, really cute owner in Canada. Every time she says like smile, he lifts up his gums and he smiles, and it is adorable. So she posts like every single day Django. So if you want to go to Django Smiles, that will give you an idea of what this looks like. And I really want to get it on camera because it is the cutest thing. But I noticed it when we started like coming home from like a shopping trip, and we let her out of her crate, and she gets all, when dogs get kind of giddy and excited, their butt kind of starts moving, and she started like curling her lip up and smiling at us. And it's only when she gets like really joyful. So it's not like she just does it on, on a whim, but when we talk to her in a really high voice. So that has just been like killing me laughing. So yesterday there was this guy over at our house fixing our fence. We had to like put a gate in. So there's this guy fixing a fence. I had let her out in the back with me when we were like finishing up. He was showing me the work and saying goodbye, whatever. And we were just chit-chatting, small talk, and all of a sudden Leela comes around the corner and she sees him, and she's like, she does the giddy smile, and she smiles at him so hard that I start cracking up, and he's probably like, why are you laughing? But it was the cutest thing, like this total random stranger, total rando that she sees and gets very excited about him. And she like goes up to him with her like wiggly body. And he was like, oh my gosh, she's so cute. So that just gives me joy almost every day, where I'm like, you are so freaking cute. This dog is adorable. Whoever lands this dog is like beyond lucky because she's the cutest. The other thing that's been making me laugh, I don't know if anyone here is a fan of The Comeback with Lisa Kudrow, but it's a show that was on HBO. I don't know, probably 2010, maybe before that even. It was kind of after Lisa Kudrow did Friends, and she started this show on HBO called The Comeback. And it's basically about this like washed up actress who's trying to be relevant still in like midlife. And when I tell you, it is one of the funniest shows I've ever seen. Well, I found out they're doing a season 3, like a last final season, but they do like one season every 10 years. It's crazy. So there's only 2 seasons of it. And it's one of those shows when you watch, you're like, why are there not more seasons of this? It is so brilliant. So I've been rewatching The Comeback to kind of get myself amped up again for like season 3, whenever that drops. But just shout out anyone out there if you need a good show and a good laugh. It is so funny. The character she has created is just... it makes me laugh so hard every single time I watch it. And I love shows that you can like rewatch and like still think it's funny. So those have been my laughs. My cry has been more around just feeling really irritable this week. Like I haven't really been in like an irritable state in a while. Lucky me, because I've been on like hormones that I've been feeling pretty good. So I haven't really had a like bad week in a while. But this week I noticed my temper has been super short to where I just like snap. I'll snap at my husband. I've been like really short with the dogs. Like I find myself, I'm like, ooh, I need to check my energy because I'm like taking it out on things that like don't deserve it.
Joy.
But I hate that feeling. It's like uncontrollable.
Are you going to end up on the ID channel show Snapped?
Yeah. I might. I actually might. No. But seriously, like there's times like, and so this week I've just been like, all right, I'm super irritable and I'm just going to like just deal with it. I'm going to ride this wave, but it has just been not pleasant because my friend and I call it existential crisisy, like when we feel in this mood where we just feel super emo and like everything's a question and like, why am I even here? And then you just have like really big emotions. So I'm going to just be in that space this week, and it is what it is.
It is hard. Irritability, I feel sometimes is like, it's one of those stuck emotions that's annoying. Like anger, I don't love it, but I'm okay.
Yes.
Sadness, I'm 100% like, I'm okay.
Yes.
Ugly crying being a disaster, all of that. But irritability, it's
there's
like
something just so icky about it.
Yeah, you're right. It's like it gives you the ick, and it just feels like, oh God, it's the worst. I hate that. Okay,
it's like
irritability
nails on a chalkboard
and anxiety
like,
are my 2 least favorite of any emotions. Those are the 2 that just, and then they start to kind of circle. Ugh, gross.
Hard agree.
Yeah.
Hard agree. So thank you for validating that because it's blah.
Yeah, I just had this visual of like irritability being like really, really high humidity. Like that whole like wet blanket feel. It's just like, like It's so terrible. I think
Yes,
it's probably
you like can't get out of it. Yeah.
It's probably problematic because irritability, you're probably trying to search like what is actually going on, but you can't really determine. It's like in the middle.
Yeah, it's like you can't put your finger on where it's coming from, so it's really hard to solve it. Not that you're like trying to solve every single emotion, like the whole thing of writing.
You can't even name it really, besides irritability.
Yeah. So that has been my cry, and on that lovely note, passing it off to my beautiful friend Chelsea.
Hi. Hi, friends.
Chelsea, are you in or
good
out?
To see you. Are you in?
I'm so 100% in, and I don't even need to close my eyes. It's a full body. Oh, there's like that book called The Full Body Yes.
Full Body Yes.
Yeah, I'm a full body yes.
That's a good book.
It is actually that is a strong recommendation.
Ooh,
when we
I've
think
never read
about
it. I'm writing it down.
You haven't? Okay, we'll talk to you about it later.
Yeah, we will. All right. So my laugh and my cry. So I was in bed the other day, and it was a yes morning. So my girlfriend and I went on this beach walk at like 5 a.m. because Charlie had volleyball. And it was like a very yes morning, and I'm feeling good. And I'm in bed, and I go on Facebook, and I get a message request on my phone. Now my notifications are not turned on, so I have to actually look. So I don't know how long ago this was sent to me. And it's a message request from somebody who I don't know. So I check, and it's one of Steve's buddies, and he says, I found this video when we were working with Lana Del Rey. I thought, and I love Steve so much, and I thought you would like it. And there's this video, and it just, okay, so my husband, he's 6'4". He's got a very, very low voice. He's probably, a tenor if you're singing? That's lower than an alto, right? There's soprano,
I think so.
Alto, tenor.
You're asking the wrong person.
Okay. So there's we need Rebecca's old singing thing. Remember she had that singing thing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I counted on you, Rebecca, that you were still using the
I'm
app.
pretty sure it's a tenor.
Okay. So it's the lowest voice. And if you know Lana Del Rey, she's like soft and wispy, like I'm not going to do it. Very sultry. Yeah. There's a video of Steve, and he's sitting in a chair, and he has the mic, and he must be testing the mic because his job was audio sound. And there's one of Lana's guys who's playing guitar, and they're playing, oh my God, I'm spacing on the song, but they're playing one of her sweet, sultry songs, and Steve's testing the mic, and he's singing.
It's so cute. And he's smiling the whole time because he's realizing how funny this is.
Yeah.
But he's like really trying to commit to testing it.
Yeah.
But like every time he starts singing, he's almost cracking up because he's like,
yeah, he's like, and he's looking over at whoever's taking the video. And when he looks up, his little eyes are like trying not to crack up. And
it's so cute.
It's so cute. And I'm watching this, and I'm laughing so hard. And then I just start fucking bawling. And it's a weird thing when somebody dies, because I was with Steve for 18 years. And you know this person, or you think you do. And then somebody, he had this whole other life that I was not in. I knew, you talk on the phone, you share it, but to see these videos, it's like fucking gold. It's like somebody just handed you a bar of gold, and you're like, how did I get this bar of gold? I've seen a bar of gold before. I thought I knew a bar of gold, but it's so heavy and beautiful and shiny and wonderful. And it's the biggest gift to me when I get these like glimpses. And so I was just like sobbing and was just like, oh my God, he's so fucking cute, and his little eyes, and he's just like trying to hold it together to test this mic, but he's like clearly like gonna fall out laughing. And I'm like, can somebody video this? And then it just makes me so happy. So that was very much I have had 1,000. My week has actually been out of control with the highs and the lows, but that was like the real laugh cry, right? You're just, you're laughing, and it's so sweet, and you're present, and you're in it. And then it's the agony of like, this person isn't here anymore. And all of a sudden it's like, you're watching this thing, and then I start laughing again, and then I start crying, and then it's like this circle. of
in
and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, all over again.
Laugh, cry, in and out, in and out. Yeah. I love what you said about the gift of, I was just envisioning how many memories you have with Steve and how many pieces of documentation of videos and photos. And when someone dies, to be able to have something new that you've never seen before.
Yeah.
Like how amazing that must feel to be like, oh, it's almost like this breath of like them again that you never saw before, because you can rewatch all the videos that you have and you can rewatch all the like replay all the memories that you have in your head, but then to have like you've never seen this one is just like, oh, I can feel that in my soul.
It's so cute. It's so cute. And there's been like so many people have sent me. And then I also have this gift. This is also a laugh cry. My girlfriend called me on her birthday and they were drinking at the pool, her and her boyfriend. She started sharing about, you know, like, oh, I was carrying what somebody else thought about me. And I remember being at a party and Steve just being like, my girlfriend's name is Lonnie. Lonnie, I love you. Like, who cares? And blah, blah, blah. It's like these private moments he had with other people. And it's like this, it is joy. It's that newness of like, I never heard that. Yeah, it is like gold. It's like you just found this treasure and I get to like live this experience that I wasn't at, and I get to see how Sweetie is like pulling my girlfriend aside who's upset and being like, you're great, you're good, like fuck those people, who cares, you know, like how Steve was just so like such a calm, steady presence. And when I get to have those things, yeah, it makes me laugh and cry. Ooh, I want to share one more. Is that okay? It's another quick one. Okay, so I talked to my dad.
You do whatever.
Well, no, this is our podcast. All of us. This is a vote. So this was another fun conversation. Was my dad called me and he sounded like a little kid and he was so excited, and I'm like, what's up? And he's like, we're moving to Arizona. We're selling our property. We're selling, like, they have a big property in California and like they've given away their stuff. They're selling everything. And I was like, oh my gosh. And he said, I just keep thinking about Steve and how he didn't have a bucket list except for what he wanted to do with him and Miles. He's like, and how he just lived so big and how you two just like would take these like leaps of doing things. He's like, and after the memorial or celebration or whatever, he said, Karen, that's my stepmom. He said, Karen and I were talking and we're like, we're older, but we're healthy. Like, do we have it in us to have one more big adventure? So they're making this big adventure and literally moving into this like fun retirement community in Arizona, like
Sun City. Is it Sun City?
I don't know.
Okay.
But they're like, but I'm just like, it's so amazing. And this is like the gold. It's like somebody. So listen, we think that we die and like, that's it, right? Or you're going to be forgotten, but like, let your legacy live. And share it with the person. Like, people get worried sometimes they're going to upset me. And I'm like, it is the greatest, biggest gift. I had a girlfriend told me like she was like praying and Steve came to her, like, and he was so vivid. It's like these things are literally like somebody just handed me like bars. So all I can think of it is bars of gold, because it's not just like money. Like money's like, we see that all the time. It's just like something that's just like so amazing. And then I laugh and I cry constantly because I'm like, baby, like, look at you. I love this. Like, you're still with us in such a big way. I don't know. It's really fucking cool. It's so cool to have somebody share memories or share inspiration of somebody who you love. It's amazing. So those are like big laughs and cry. And it was like all week, this was the way it was going. And it really saves me to feel all the feelings and the grief. It keeps me from getting stuck. That's also the other gift, right? Like, you can get very stuck, but there's so many funny things. Like, it's just so funny to me. Like, Steve singing on this video is so hilarious. Like, what?
It's so cute. If you feel comfortable when this episode drops, you should post it because it's so cute. The other thing that, like, adding on to that, I want to tell you that I think about that all the time, of Steve saying that he didn't have a bucket list. Like, I think about that probably almost daily of him just saying like, I just want to spend as much time as possible with my family. Because I think so much of us when we're kind of in our daily lives are like, we want to do all these grand things, but at the end of the day, like what's just so truly important is the people you spend time with, and how beautiful that was. And he was like, from what I could tell from what you said, it's like he was so at peace with that. He didn't like need to do all these like grand gestures and have all these accolades, and you know.
He really didn't. Steve was so humble, you didn't know. Like I had said that, like he would say, someone would be like, oh, you're the best sound guy. And he's like, no, I'm the second best. And they're like, well, who's the best? And he just wouldn't say, or like he was, I guess, recruited like to do like professional snowboarding. He ended up like, but he never, these are like things he told, like we got these things like he never shared. So it was like other people would tell me these things. And I was married to him. This man was so
like news to me.
So fucking humble. He never shared, he didn't share any of those type of things. And I think that was part of like the living big, was like you do things because you want to do things. You do things because you love the person in front of you. You do things because you want to have this experience. It wasn't about showing what that experience was or doing something for the ego. It was saying yes because you just wanted to do the thing. And I think that's where we get mixed up, right? And we're going to talk about that today, about the creating new Rebecca's beautiful description of creating new tracks, right? The driving the car and you're creating kind of new tracks. We want to go really big sometimes. Like I want to create these big tracks. I want to run this marathon. I want to do this big, huge thing. But when we're creating tracks, sometimes it's like, I want to just look at that track in the mud and just see how fucking awesome it is that it made that shape. And it's not boastful. It's not big. It's just something new. And then you keep kind of following what that kind of track looks like. Steve was really good at that. He was really, 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 really good at that. I mean, even if you look at his stuff, he doesn't post shit. Like he didn't ever, I mean, barely. Yeah.
And what you said around he did it because he really wanted to, not for like the showing of it. And
could have cared less.
Yeah. What a great reflection of like, okay, are we really living our lives for us and what we really want?
Yeah, because the beauty's smaller. The beauty's the track. So maybe we can pivot into that. Like that's what I think. I think the beauty is the smallness. Like we've talked about this, the getting really small so you can get big. But people are like, I want to be big and I want to like go on this giant cruise and travel the world. And then I want to take photos the whole time so I can make sure I showcase it on social media because then I feel good about like
you get like the dopamine likes.
Yeah. So it's like we're missing the bigness by not being in the small. That's where I'll start.
I don't want to get us off topic here, but it's so interesting you're talking about this because I was on my run this morning and this rabbit like came up to me and I'm telling you, it was probably a foot away. So I started walking when I saw it because I'm like, ooh, I'm going to get a picture of this rabbit, right? Because I think we all go to, I want to get a picture of this. And so this rabbit was like a foot away from me and I'm like, I was talking to it and I couldn't believe it was staying so close to me. And sometimes I always think rabbits or whatever type of animal like shows themselves to me because they obviously want me to see them. And sometimes it reminds me of, I had a pet rabbit named Benny and I was like, oh, hey, Benny, are you coming to say hi to me or whatever? It's going to make me kind of tear up. But anyway, that's a whole aside. But my thought was I was trying to get my camera to take a picture. And I'm like, of course, I can never find my camera when I need it quick enough because apparently I don't know how to work my phone and my thumbs are big. I don't know. I'm like, this thing's going to move but before I can get it right. And of course it hops on and I'm like, Rebecca, like this is a lesson. Like why? And I started thinking, why do we all go to try to take a picture of something that's happening why is that? Why did I need that picture? And it's like, well, one, I could be like, oh, it was really cute and I could see it close up. Or am I trying to show other people, like, you're never going to believe how close this bunny was. Like, am I showing it to prove to other people? And it's like, the point of it is just enjoy the experience. We don't need a picture. We don't need proof of
being in the
what
moment
has happened. And I think we all get caught up in, I need a picture. That's why everybody's photo storage is like, you always have to get more storage or delete because it's so full of pictures. And it's like, why, let's just be in the moment and take that in. We don't have to prove to somebody it happened because we know it happened.
That reminds me of, I think it's Deepak Chopra who described admiring beauty but not having to have it. Like seeing. I
think it was Eckhart Tolle.
Oh, it was Eckhart Tolle with New Earth, right? His book, The New Earth.
So good.
So he described it like you can see, it was, thank you, Eckhart Tolle. He you can see a beautiful piece of art and you can admire it, but you don't have to
I
have
think
it.
about that all
Yeah,
the
you can
time.
see the flower, and I think about this, you can see the wild flowers. You don't have to pick them, but we want, God, I could go really deep with this. We want to take in those pieces because there is great beauty in capturing and getting to go back and look at your phone and relive those things. But are we being present? There's a balance, right? Like, what does that balance look like between being present and capturing the moment? I think that's why I like when I take photos, it's a 1, 2, 3 photo. I don't do posing, and I don't really go back and look a lot and be like, is that cute? Is that this? Like, sometimes not really. And it annoys people because they're like, we're like, take like a bunch. And I'm like, 3 seconds, go. Just get the moment. Like, we're good. We're good. I grew up with Polaroid, okay? There was no editing and filtering. We were just all fucked. If you look bad, you look bad. That was it, guys.
You did.
You look bad. There was
you got what you got.
Yeah, right? But that's okay. That's okay. Oh.
That's a great reminder of the Eckhart Tolle, because that's one I think of constantly, with just appreciating beauty but not needing to have it, whether it's going shopping. And I do this a lot with my husband. We'll be shopping and I'll be like, oh, I love that. And he'll be like, where would you wear that? I'm like, I don't know, I just like it. Like, I like it, but I don't need to have it, so anything around appreciating art or appreciating nature, it's not ours to take. And when we're kind of thinking about creating new tracks, I love what you said, Rebecca, just like, why was I taking this photo? Because I do that all the time too, where I'm like, am I really being present, or can I just like put my phone away? Just because it's socially acceptable to have everything captured, documented, and posted doesn't mean that we should be doing that. And bringing it back to the get small to get big, something I've been thinking about as it relates to like the creating new tracks is, for example, when I was talking about being super irritable this week, I'm like, all right, normally I would let myself really spiral, and it's fine to have a spiral every once in a while, but I'm thinking more of, where can I change my thought pattern here around being irritable? So instead of letting myself be like, why am I like this? What is wrong with me? Taking it out on my poor husband, I was just like, I'm going to just maybe sit quiet for a while instead of getting mad about the floors not being vacuumed, or there's dog hair everywhere, or like whatever it is, because I'm like, that is a new track for me, where normally I would really let it get amped up. I'm not dismissing it, I'm acknowledging it, but I'm also just being like, where's a new track where I'm not like berating myself for being irritable, which makes it even worse. So thinking about my experience on a daily basis of, the seasons are up of change, or in like the next couple of months, I know that like we're heading into fall and seasons do weird things to my mood sometimes. So I'm like, I'm just gonna like let that be. It's a little bit of like exposure therapy type of feeling, where you're like, I'm just gonna kind of, I hate saying lean in, it's so cliche, but it is. It's like just kind of lean into the feelings.
Lean in. I love it. I think when you lean in, there is the opportunity. I think what I'm hearing you say, Joy, is, can I see this differently?
Correct.
So you get this automatic thought, but when you lean into it, you're giving it's like kind of like a dance, right? Like when you dance, you're not really, if you're dancing and you're not self-conscious, you're not thinking about what move you're going to do. Your body is just moving. It's why watching kids dance is amazing, because their body is just moving. It's when we start thinking about how we look when we're dancing that we start looking weird, or maybe really on point if you're highly skilled. It depends. Like a Dallas cheerleader. I mean, Rebecca may be.
I might be on point.
Yeah, okay? I could see that. I believe that about you.
I am totally on point.
Yeah. So you could have the either or, but when you lean in, however, it gives you the opportunity to, can I see this differently? Can I see these tracks in the mud as not a muddy disaster mess where I'll potentially get stuck? Can I see the tracks as, what would happen if I just let go? Would the wheel turn left? Would it turn right? Would I get out of the mud? Would I create a new road? What opportunities do I have, right? So it's more fluid. And I think when we give ourselves permission to say, can I think about this differently? That's what you're saying, Joy. Can I have a different thought? Is there an opportunity for me to see this differently? We start to create the opportunity to get out of the mud.
Well, it's what we use. I think you said this last week, Chelsea, around our brains are lazy and it loves to kind of be, it's rewarded. I think Brene Brown talked about this, where your brain rewards you. You kind of get dopamine when you validate the repetitive thought. You're kind of like validating your own story. So it's like we're kind of screwed even more because we get validation and a dopamine hit when we're like, yeah, that's just how it is. That's just how it is. And so I've been thinking a lot about that too, of the quote unquote laziness of our brain. Well, it's not even, it is what it is, that is the default. And I'm trying to, just that small thought of getting curious about it and being like, can I do this differently, allows space for us to not just like default into that old track.
Yeah. And so maybe step one to creating new tracks is there a way for me to see this differently? What would happen if I let go of the repetitive, familiar thought and considered a different possibility? Let's bring it full circle. You can do this by getting still and quiet, closing your eyes. And there's a 3-step that I teach people. Number one, the first is to see the situation with all the feelings, all the stuff, exactly where you're stuck, right? You see yourself, I don't know, a track. I always do parenting because it's easy. You see yourself overreacting to your kid yelling and screaming at them. Then you go into neutral, right? No emotions. You watch yourself as the mom raising her voice, yelling at the kid, very not emotional. And that starts to neutralize. Like maybe it's not so bad that my kid did this thing. Maybe this mom is overreacting, right? You take it up. And then you go to ideal. How do I want to see this? What do I want to see differently? And then maybe you see yourself connecting with your kid, hugging your kid, teaching your kid, giving them a corrective reminder of whatever they did, of how do we have it as a teaching moment. So you can kind of go through that in 3 steps. And if you're closing your eyes and meditating, kind of getting in a meditative state, that's helpful. So you kind of run yourself through with all the emotions, run yourself through like a news reporter, objectively looking at the situation, and then run yourself through with what are other possibilities that would align with my values, with the way that I want to think, with the way that I want to feel. What are those other possibilities? But we've got to create that emotional flexibility. And sometimes we need to run down impending doom that like, I'm irritable, I'm pissed, I'm stuck, it fucking sucks, to this is a woman who's probably hormonal. She has irritability and she's feeling stuck right now. She's getting in a repetitive thought cycle. And then we shift it over to the irritability. Oh my God, wow, we can do a lot of things with irritability, right? Like there's a lot of different things we can start to switch around with that. Like physically, she runs it out. She's too tired to be irritable. Mm-hmm. She's exhausted.
She's going to take a nap.
She soothes her nervous system. She goes and meets up with a girlfriend. She dances, right? Like there's different tracks. So that is like one little way that I think can help, but we don't want to go big, right? Because that's what we're talking about when we're starting new tracks. We want to,
right.
People are like, I need to go huge. And it's like, no, you don't. We want to that's why I love therapy. I always say, small, consistent changes done over time create new neural pathways in the brain, right? We want to do these tiny little things over and over and over and over again. It's not these huge things, but then we can turn into these really big things because our brain is now allowing us to stay out of the fight.
And I think what you're saying is like we're so uncomfortable with the feeling that we just want to jump out of the pot. And it's like, no, you got to kind of like gradually get there. But we're so used to, or at least we desire really quick change, really quick relief. I think there's a little bit of like, we got to come to terms with the fact that that's not how it should be solved long term.
Yeah, I'm curious, Chelsea or Joy, if you have any tips on like how to get to neutral, especially if you're driving a Tesla and have problems getting into neutral.
That's a good callback.
Well, you may not just say in or out.
In or out.
Well, I'm just curious because I think some people have a problem. Like, how do we neutralize this, right? Because we're so judgmental of our own thoughts and feelings.
I think another way to look at it is be the observer. So in meditation is to be the observer instead of judging yourself. So there's a million meditations you can look up around that. It doesn't even have to be a meditation, but at least one of my favorite examples that I think I was in a training eons ago. And the instructor said, and I'm going to gloss through it because we're kind of short on time, but it was a very long version of basically yourself, you walk into a movie theater, you sit down in the front row of the movie theater, and you look up on the screen and it's your thoughts just being played on the movie theater. So you're watching your thoughts on the movie screen, really big. You're just looking at it. There's no judgment. You're not making any, negative thoughts, no positive thoughts. You're just observing. Then you multiply, yourself multiplies, and you imagine another you in like the 5th row doing the same thing. So there's a you in the fifth row, and then there's a you in the front row watching those thoughts go by. And he repeats this to like having 20 of you as it gets farther and farther away to where there's like the 30th version of you is sitting on the street watching your thoughts go by, basically saying, creating distance from all that judgment. And so I love that visual of just like constantly putting yourself further and further and further and further away, where you're just watching the thoughts go by.
That's brilliant.
And the more distance that you have from watching those thoughts, it's like you're kind of detached from all the muck.
That is great. So it's almost like take your glasses off.
Well, if you wear glasses. Yeah, if
Get
you
a
wear
fuzzy.
Glasses for distance like me, take your
Farsighted.
glasses off.
Yeah, there you go. Problem solved. Who knew
Or
it was
put
so
them
easy?
on, depending on your vision. But yeah, it's it's like really, really how far away can you get from just, we are so in our heads all the time because we live there. And so that is, I always think of that visual, and it's really, really helpful.
I want to leave people today kind of with a prompt, or like a journal prompt, or just something to think about. So if you weren't afraid of failing, what track would you start today?
If you weren't afraid of failing.
What track would you start today?
Do you have one, Rebecca?
Yeah, I don't have one in particular. I just thought like it's something I think I need to think about too. Like, what would I start? Because there's all kinds of things I probably want to do.
Yeah, I would say even if I wasn't afraid of the vulnerability.
Yeah.
Or the being exposed or being seen in this way that is uncomfortable. Yeah, because I do think we have the failure piece, right? Ew, look at Joy's getting the ick just thinking about it. And I'm not going to lie, my heart's racing as I say this. Yeah. And I'm fucking great at being vulnerable. That is,
you are.
That is a gift I have where I'm okay. I want to take it back. I want to zip it up. I want to tighten it up. I do go into the neuroses around it, just like anybody else does, but I make myself do it. I make myself do it because, well, for lots of reasons. I do lots of reasons, but there's those things, right? So how do we, going back to Rebecca's question, if I wasn't afraid of failure, if I wasn't afraid of being exposed or being seen in this different way, what would I do differently? And then I would say, make it the smallest, tiniest, teeniest, little itty bittiest step. If it's wanting to connect with somebody you've been thinking about, just do it for yourself and say your truth. In a kind, loving way, and don't worry about whether they respond or not, right? Or if it's you want to start making a different eating habit, don't start eliminating everything. Just start adding one little thing to your day, right? So I would say you make it the smallest, little, teeniest, tiniest consideration that you can do something different, and then you commit to doing that for
and see how you feel.
Just a couple minutes each day. And if you can't get to the actual behavior, start maybe closing your eyes and thinking about it.
I think if you go too fast, like what you were talking about, you end up getting stuck in the mud because you've just used all your energy is depleted. So you end up getting stuck. But if you take it small and do gradual steps, you'll end up making it all the way through that mud successfully. It may be slower than you want, but slower leads to sustainability for your decisions.
Slower leads to sustainability. Sustainability leads to new brain changing where these things aren't as scary. New brain changes lead to new behaviors. New behaviors reinforce the good feelings and the good thoughts.
And it means you created a brand new track for yourself.
Yeah.
Wow.
And also know all of your tracks are unique. If you ever run through something or ride through something and you look back, all the tire tracks are different, all the shoe prints are different. They're all very unique to you. So recognize that it's not going to be exactly like some influencer out there or something else.
Yeah, your track is your track.
Yeah.
Yours. It's not the same
Own
as somebody else's.
Own it.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Enjoy
Rebecca.
it.
I think that's a good one, especially with the visualization that you were talking about, because so many influences are out there that we're like, is this my thought or is this someone else's thought? Is this my desire or is this because I saw an influencer do it? So these are all great. I think for next week, we should talk about the failure piece of like, what would you do? Rebecca's question, what would you do if you What step would you take if you were not afraid of failure? And maybe how we're showing up with that practice in our lives.
I think that's a great way to continue to build on the new tracks. What would we do? What would be different? And we can talk about our own areas where there's been stickiness and how did we do the thing? Because that's the beauty of if you're seeing a therapist, hopefully your therapist has done their own work, right? As being a therapist, we all need to be doing our own therapy. We all need to be doing this. And so none of these things that we talk about, we're exempt from. We're doing it now. We've done it then. We continue to build these new tracks, continue to evaluate. I'm afraid of failing. What do I need to do differently? Right? We go through these things. And so sometimes just having these brave, vulnerable conversations starts to loosen that tread. And I think that's going to be fun, especially because I'm just imagining Rebecca doing splits.
Yep.
Dallas cheerleading. Like, Rebecca, are you in and out? Are you in or out for the Dallas Cowboys tryouts? Like, what are we doing here? You are. Yes.
Totally.
And then how does she create new tracks? A lot of stretching and bending. Choreographed dancing.
Yeah.
This is great. I love that these past few episodes have really built on one another. I think it's really helpful, at least for me too, because I'm like, oh yeah, this really kind of vibes together. Hopefully our listeners are feeling the same and showing up for themselves. So we're ending this week, but we'll see you next week. Thank you so much for supporting our podcast and listening. We know you have a million podcasts to choose from, so we appreciate your time spent with us. You can reach us at Laugh Cry Club on all social media and laughcryclub@gmail.com if you want to send us a note. The best way to support our show is to leave us a rating and review. We would love it, and also share it with a friend. That is how we grow this wonderful community. So until next time, keep showing up, take the small steps, making some tracks, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.
Bye.
That's life, baby.